Lively was such a brat that her and Ryan Reynolds specifically requested during the premiere that they so did not want him to attend his own.
Sorry, Blake Lively comparing herself to Khaleesi has to be one of the wildest cases of self-fulfilling prophecy I've seen to date. Like, everyone's making fun of her for saying that, but what's more Khaleesi than being a once beloved public figure who stood to win it all and lost it in a fiery rage? Like, no, like, it is giving twin. She's absolutely accurate. And just like in Game of Thrones, in the end, those dragons did not mean shit.
Sometimes, the biggest Hollywood showdowns aren't on the silver screen, but in the courtroom. And this time, the tension crackles between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. From stunning red carpets to explosive allegations of manipulation and wrongdoing, their drama has taken twists few saw coming. Rumors of on-set tension initially seemed like harmless celebrity.
Often happens when these stars drop a movie, people start digging around for other interviews of them, etc. And it was just sort of a course of, wow, like, she seems like kind of a jerk. Wow, she's like kind of a bully. She's rather mean.
But then came lawsuits, leaked text messages, and bombshell after bombshell that shook fans to the core. What really happened behind the scenes of It Ends With Us? Is Blake Lively an embattled star standing up for her rights? Or is Justin Baldoni pulling back the curtain on a story no one was supposed to see? In this video, we're dissecting every detail that's turned a routine movie production into a headline-grabbing scandal. Buckle up, because the truth is murky, the stakes are high, and the revelations keep getting wilder. Not long ago, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni were celebrating landing lead roles in the film adaptation of It Ends With Us. On social media, fans admired their
documents actually don't lie, people do. And it's important that everyone sees all of the documents that are involved in the case, because there are people that have been destroyed as a result of the allegations that have been made so far in this case.
Behind-the-scenes posts and predicted an on-screen dream team. But whispers soon circulated that the collaboration was far from harmonious. Insiders hinted that friction flared when Blake allegedly tried to rewrite significant portions of her scenes. Although it's not unusual for a high-profile star to request script tweaks, some observers claimed she was pushing for more than typical creative input, going as far as overshadowing the director's authority. Then, in a blink, the whole dynamic shifted from minor disagreements to major accusations. Troubling rumors sprang up that Blake felt unsafe.
This movie is going to affect people, and they're going to want to tell you about their lives. So if someone understands the themes of this movie, comes across you in public, and they want to really talk to you, what's the best way for them to be able to talk to you about this? How would you recommend they go about it?
And undermined. Meanwhile, Justin's camp insisted these claims were baseless, like there was a hidden agenda. At first, it was all hush-hush, with neither actor making an official statement. But soon enough, the veil lifted, and the allegations erupted into the public sphere. But that was just the beginning. When a New York Times piece briefly mentioned unrest between Lively and Baldoni, fans were intrigued. Then, a follow-up article emerged detailing alleged harassment.
Showed her a still shot from his wife's delivery of their child, which I've also seen. You can't see any R-rated parts at all. It's actually a really lovely artistic photo.
It's one that, because so often we see births in movies and TV, and they just look so fake. It's like a 3-month-old baby that comes out of, and I just wanted it to feel very real.
And retaliation. Those specifics were initially vague. This was when the entire affair caught fire. Anonymous sources close to the production described scenes on set where Blake supposedly felt cornered, culminating in an incident she labeled an invasion of her personal space. Public sentiment swiftly swayed in her favor. Blogs, social media threads, and entertainment sites buzzed with outrage. If a beloved actress like Blake Lively says she faced wrongdoing, many reasoned, why doubt hers? However, a handful of skeptics pointed out the somewhat convenient timing. Right before the film's official press tour kicked off, negative stories about Justin started dripping out. Then came questions. How did the media get these details?
Now that she's had her shot against him, and she's severely damaged him with that New York Times piece and this complaint, which she managed to get leaked, now she wants a complete gag order. Poor Blake. Why should Justin be able to release snippets to the media without the full context? That's what she said. That's what she did.
Were they leaked intentionally to shape a narrative in Blake's favor? Was this all standard Hollywood publicity drama or something more strategic? Regardless, the damage to Justin's reputation was immediate. Online forums labeled him toxic, and some called for him to be blacklisted from future projects. But Justin did not remain silent for long. Little did we know, the real drama was about to come bursting through the gates. If Blake's allegations were a tidal wave, Justin's counterattack was a hurricane. Within days, his team produced snippets of text messages that seemed to contradict the image of Justin as a predatory figure. Some messages showed Blake initiating friendly, even flirty banter, joking about breastfeeding breaks, and inviting Justin to discuss scene changes in private. Then came the alleged adult content fiasco. Blake had earlier claimed Justin's producing partner exposed her to explicit imagery. Yet, Justin's side presented what they said was the real photo, an artistic snapshot of the partner and his spouse with their newborn after a home birth. Hardly X-rated material. Adding to the confusion,
What in fact happened was Justin didn't Blake. Blake was interested in wresting control of this movie away from Justin, who was the director and the producer. She was just an actor.
leaked voice memos suggested Justin was bending over backward to appease Blake's wishes. In one particularly long late-night recording, he apologized profusely for any oversight. While Blake supporters saw this as admission of guilt, others interpreted it differently. Why, critics asked, would an abuser apologize in such a fearful, anxious manner over seemingly minor on-set disputes, unless he was tiptoeing around a powerful star with powerful connections? To top it off, pundit Megyn Kelly stepped into the fray. In no uncertain terms, she questioned the consistency of Blake's claims. Kelly highlighted instances where the allegations seemed overblown, citing how context often revealed them to be run-of-the-mill scenes or standard Hollywood horseplay. With every new revelation, fans grew more divided, and mainstream media latched onto the controversy like it was the next big scandal. But if you thought this was the turning point, you'd be dead wrong. Soon, everything escalated from whispered rumors to official court filings. Blake's complaint accused Justin of crossing lines, harassment, intimidation, and more. She alleged a pattern of behavior that made her feel targeted and claimed retaliation when she sought to stand up for herself. Justin, for his part, slapped Blake with a countersuit of defamation and extortion, contending her allegations were contrived to strip him of creative control and tarnish his name. He claimed she orchestrated media leaks and tried to manipulate the narrative through her PR team. Behind the scenes, attorneys on both sides scrambled to manage.
TMZ has gotten its hands on that video, and you can hear Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni interacting as themselves, knowing that this is all on video and that this is going to be used to create this dance scene, and no such moment is shown.
The fallout. Then, Blake's legal team demanded a gag order, essentially forbidding Justin from publishing more out-of-context documents. They argued he was trying the case in the media, a strategy that could bias potential jurors. Yet skeptics pointed out the irony. The entire saga started with leaks apparently favorable to Blake. Why suddenly slam the brakes on public disclosure now that Justin's side was speaking up? If she's truly telling the truth, critics asked, why fear more evidence? One thing was clear. The friction wasn't just personal, it was professional, legal, and intensely public. By the time It Ends With Us was ready to hit theaters, the drama had grown bigger than the movie itself. Instead of plush interviews touting the film's heartfelt themes, reporters fixated on the alleged animosity between its two stars. Joint promotional appearances were noticeably absent.
She did, and how she bullied her way through the process to take over the movie and used her PR people to try and destroy Justin.
At red carpet events, Justin and Blake posed with different groups of castmates, rarely within the same frame. Rumors swirled that the studio demanded they be kept apart to avoid any embarrassing confrontation. Surprisingly, the film performed decently at the box office, perhaps boosted by the extra attention swirling around it. However, the reviews were overshadowed by the question on everyone's mind, what on earth happened between these two? Fans took sides, with some condemning Justin while others insisted the evidence vindicated him. Social media spiked with hashtags. Some commentators even compared the fiasco to the Amber.
Right. And then says, smells good. And she says, it's my body makeup. That's her big moment.
Heard Johnny Depp saga, albeit on a smaller scale. But make no mistake, this was no simple gossip item. Careers and reputations hung in the balance. Still, the biggest bombshell was lurking just around the corner. Hollywood is no stranger to jaw-dropping financial claims, but Justin Baldoni's move to seek $400 million in damages was next level. Many viewers gasped at the figure. It's nearly 4 times Blake and her husband Ryan Reynolds' combined net worth if publicly reported numbers are to be believed. Legal analysts were quick to call it a PR figure. A few described it as a strategic hammer, set the bar impossibly high.
What does she have to fear if she's telling the truth?
Then see if your opponent will settle to avoid a trial. Others argued that it demonstrated how severely Justin believed his career had been hurt. Dropped by his agency, vilified in the press, and overshadowed by an avalanche of negative publicity, he might have found it difficult to land new projects. Blake's immediate response, calling Justin's strategy Darvo, deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. She painted this as a classic pattern where an accused individual flips the script to paint themselves as the real victim. In her statement, she reiterated her stance. The moment a woman comes forward with allegations, certain people rush to discredit her. Yet there's no denying the stakes. If Justin proves that false accusations cost him tens, if not hundreds, of millions in potential earnings, it could set a precedent for how defamation cases are handled in entertainment. If he wins even a fraction of that sum, it could cripple Blake and Ryan financially, not to mention the catastrophic blow to her professional standing. But that wasn't all there was to worry about. Longtime fans remember Blake Lively for her roles in Gossip Girl and various blockbuster films, someone with a squeaky clean, wholesome persona. Initially, the public had little reason to doubt her claims. But as more contradictory evidence sprouted, critics questioned whether there was a pattern of misrepresentation. On social media, some fans pointed to older interviews where Blake openly discussed her strong opinions on creative direction, occasionally clashing with producers. Others accused her of leveraging the hashtag #MeToo movement to gain an upper hand. Of course, a counter-narrative exists too. Supporters believe Justin has powerful industry allies who want to shield him, claiming that any evidence released is manipulated or cherry-picked. The swirling rumors drew in Ryan Reynolds by default, with some alleging he pulled strings to help shape coverage favorable to Blake. He, however, has remained almost entirely silent, a curious choice for a star known for witty social media comebacks. Was he supporting Blake behind the scenes or steering clear to preserve his own brand? In an era where cancel culture can topple careers within days, both parties seemed locked in a high-stakes game of public perception. Every interview, every talk show appearance, every social media post became a battleground for hearts and minds. Yet there was more to uncover, some final bombshells that could tilt everything. As the March 2026 trial date draws closer, the tension feels almost cinematic. Industry insiders say this case might reveal the darker underbelly of how Hollywood deals with high-profile disputes. On one hand, if Blake's allegations are validated, it sets a precedent that even well-liked stars can face wrongdoing and need robust protections. On the other, if Justin's evidence proves the claims were inflated or weaponized, studios and agencies may grow more hesitant in navigating hashtag #MeToo-type accusations, worried about the potential for misuse. Some speculate we'll see a settlement, perhaps a financial resolution accompanied by a carefully worded joint statement. After all, neither party truly benefits from a grueling public trial that lays bare every private conversation and text message. Yet, the bitterness and pride on both sides might push them to see this battle through to the end. Hollywood loves a redemption arc. Justin could emerge from this, if he's vindicated, as someone who overcame a malicious campaign, a phoenix rising from the ashes narrative. Alternatively, if the court sides with Blake, she'll be hailed as a champion who refused to be silenced, reinforcing her brand as a strong female voice in the industry. One thing is certain, the final ruling will send ripples across Hollywood's power structures. From the first hints of trouble on the It Ends With Us set to the staggering $400 million lawsuit, this saga has been a roller coaster of leaks, counterleaks, and constant speculation. Blake Lively once seemed to hold the moral high ground until contradictory evidence chipped away at her story. Justin Baldoni started out on the defensive, but his legal strategy and willingness to release private materials may be reshaping his image from alleged wrongdoer to possible victim of misrepresentation. Now, the real question is, how much longer will this back and forth escalate before the whole truth emerges, if it ever does? Is there a chance for an amicable resolution? Or will this become one of Hollywood's most sensational trials, with each side fighting tooth and nail to control the narrative? While many fans have already made up their minds, the ultimate verdict will come from a courtroom, not the court of public opinion. In the meantime, viewers around the world can only speculate and debate. Whose version of events is closest to reality? Did one party truly step over the line, or did miscommunication and clashing egos spin out of control? No matter the outcome, it's clear this controversy has reshaped the reputations of both Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. The only thing more shocking than the allegations themselves might be the revelations still waiting to drop. Stay tuned, because in the realm of Hollywood showdowns, the final act has yet to unfold.